Hello lovely Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny, here on YouTube and over on Instagram. This is Flosstube episode number 49. It is the 1st of April and this is going to be my monthly roundup for the month of March. I did do an episode in the middle of March and told you about the rough time that I'd been having with my eyes and that I didn't expect too much stitching to get done. That being said, I have surprised myself in managing to work on 4 different projects. So I do have 4 WIPs to share with you. There's not been any new starts, there's not been any finishes, but I have worked on 4 lovely WIPs. So I've got those to share with you. I've also got a really exciting bit of haul to share with you. I've received my first Black Needle Society box, so I will unbox that with you guys. And yeah, let's get going. I had no expectations of filming today whatsoever. We're in the middle of the Easter holidays. The kids are running riot, and I had to steal a little bit of time to go around to my studio and pack some orders. Big thank you to all of you that have ordered from Stitch Bunny over this Easter weekend. I was quite surprised by how many orders have trickled into my inbox. I needed to steal a little bit of time to get up to date with all the packaging so that they can all go out tomorrow when the bank holiday is over. So I went off to my studio, which is around the side of the house. I've been around there for maybe an hour and a half packaging. I came back around here and Adam had put the kids to bed and then announced that he had to go out and do something. So I was like, oh, that gives me a little bit of quiet time to sit down and film. So I really didn't think I would get this done today, but happily I've got a little bit of peace and quiet in the living room. Everybody's either asleep or not here, but I do have to show you what I walked into. So after being in my studio for an hour and a half, this is what I came back to. So the kids have now gone to bed, but they've been having a lot of fun. I've walked into Jurassic World. There are just dinosaurs everywhere. Hadley is obsessed with dinosaurs, and yes, he's been going crazy with creating his little dinosaur world, and he's not tidied it away before bedtime. So I am filming this Flosstube with an audience of dinosaurs who you cannot see, but they are staring at me. So anyway, yeah, I just thought that was really funny. I thought I'd show you a quick photo of that because it did amuse me when I walked into the room. But I'm sure you are far more interested in what I've been stitching than in Hadley's dinosaurs. So let's have a look at my first WIP. So the first WIP I'm going to show you today is my animal ABC, my alphabet. You have been seeing, ooh, dog barking. That's Lily. I've got the baby monitor over there, keeping an eye on Lily because she's going to be having babies soon. If she squeaks again, I might have to go over and check that. As I was saying, this is my animal alphabet, my animal ABC. You've been seeing quite a lot of this recently because I am trying to work on it 5 letters a month until it's finished. I have not achieved 5 letters within this month, but I have made a little bit of progress. So last time you saw it in mid-March, I had made a good start on getting my 5 letters for this month underway. And this is where we are at now. So I'm not entirely sure if my pig was finished when you saw it in the middle of the month, but my goal for this month was to do P, R, S, T and U because the quail was already done. And as I said, the pig is finished. I'm not sure whether that was finished at the beginning of the month, the middle of the month. I don't think it was. I think possibly I still had a bit of work to do on the pig. And then I have made a start on Rooster, R for Rooster. So my rooster is there. He is coming together nicely, but as you can see, he's nowhere near finished. However, I'm really pleased that I did pick this up and get some work done on it. I did think that I would do a lot more work on this, being that it's on Ada, and with the eye issues I've been having, I thought most of my stitching is done in the evening, and this is like the easiest thing to work on of an evening with artificial light. The holes are very big, it's very forgiving on my eyes. I thought that I would just probably work on this and nothing else. However, I've been being so careful not to want to do really any stitching in the evenings that I've just been grabbing 30 minutes here, 40 minutes there during the daytime. And because of that, I've had a bit more leeway with what I can stitch on because I've been stitching in good natural daylight. So yes, that is the reason I've not done quite as much on this. I've not been brave enough to do too much evening stitching. So because I've only been stitching during the day, I've picked up whatever I fancied. And that wasn't always this piece. I do like to jump around a little bit. But this is Animal ABC. It is a Designworks kit and it's on 14 count white Ada using all the kit supplied threads. I am running out of black in this kit, and to my memory, I don't think I've ever stitched a kit. I know plenty of people do mention it sometimes and talk about it. I don't think I've ever stitched a kit where I have run out of any colour of thread. I'm quite careful and conservative with my thread usage when things are in a kit and in general really, because I don't like wasting my threads. But the black in this, there is nowhere near enough black. I mean, I've got like about 8 or 9 animals left to do, and I'm down to probably maybe 8 threads of black in the kit. So yes, I think there was definitely an error when my kit was packaged. There is nowhere near enough black to complete this design. I haven't frogged any of my black. There have been other colours in the design that I have ended up doing a bit of frogging, but the black is predominantly for the back stitch and they have just put nowhere near enough in. I haven't doubled up on the black. I've been doing single strand backstitch as per the instructions, so it's not as if I've even accidentally doubled up and been using 2 strands, so a little bit annoying. Obviously the good thing is that it's black, so I can just replace it with another black, but I'm not sure what threads Designworks use, and do you know, sometimes your blacks can be thicker or thinner depending on the brand you're using, so I'm going to have to be quite careful that all my animals at the bottom don't end up with a thicker outline. If I'd known that I would run out of black, I could have like mixed around the kit supplied black with my own black and sort of made it more even, but because I've suddenly realised I'm going to run out and everything else has already been backstitched, I'm just hoping that, yeah, one of my blacks, either my DMC, I might have some Anchor, I've definitely got CXC, I've definitely got Royal Broidery. I just need to find the one that is the best match for thickness and hope that it all comes out looking nice and even. Otherwise, yes, I will be a little bit annoyed by that. Hopefully I can make it work. What is next? So next is my Baker's Wife. So Baker's Wife was the first Mirabilia design that I ever started stitching on. I originally started it with Cross Stitch Mad Sarah. We started our very first ever Fancy Ladies together, and this is the one, I've got fluff on her, this is the one that I picked. And I'd only ever done a tiny little blob of stitching on her. So if I show you from my WIP parade, it was a tiny blob. And that is all I ever got done. I got distracted by all the other things, started stitching on numerous other Fancy Ladies and never came back to her. But I have corrected that. I thought there was no better time to stitch on a Fancy Lady because my WIP Go called for 5 hours on a Fancy Lady. And Baker's Wife is on a very light coloured fabric, so I thought I would get a bit of progress on her, and she's looking quite a lot different than last time you saw her. And here she is, my lovely Baker's Wife. Quite a big difference in this. So when I first picked her up again, I concentrated on this sort of arched framework that surrounds her. This is being stitched in Caron water lilies, beautiful silk threads, an absolute joy to work with. And once I'd done a good proportion of that sort of surrounding decorative arch or whatever it's supposed to be, I've then gone back to my lady, started doing more of her hair, and I've even introduced some beading. So I thought rather than leave all her beading to the end, I would get on with doing some as I go. I think she's looking rather nice, rather pretty. She is being stitched entirely with DMC, I want to say. I don't actually know. I have not stitched on her for such a long time that I'm not sure what brand of threads I chose to use. Just thinking out loud. No, I am using DMC, no, that is correct, but I am also using Anchor. She is a mix, that's right. So when I kitted her up, I used what DMC threads I had, but some of the colours I didn't have, but I did have Anchor equivalents when using a conversion chart. So some of these are Anchor threads, some are DMC, but I think it's all looking fine together. Sorry about the shadows. It is getting on to be the evening, so I'm not filming in the nice daylight this evening. I do have all the big lights on. Yeah, so she is a mixture of all the called for colours in DMC with Anchor substitutions where I needed to substitute. I'm using the called for Caron water lilies, of which I think there are 2 different colours in this design. And I've got the entire bead pack that's called for. I bought that as a bead pack from Arts and Designs. So all the called for Mill Hill beads are being used, and I'm stitching her on Sparkle Blush Blooms fabric from Stitch Bunny Shop. It's even weave and it's 32 counts. I don't know if it will be picked up on the camera. It may just look white in this light, but it is a very pale green and pink mottle with sparkly bits. This is not the first project I have stitched on this. I'm sure you've seen it on something else. It is a nice neutral and I do enjoy working on it. So that is my baker's wife. I'm very pleased to report that I have put my 5 hours into her. So I've ticked off my WIP Go goal and my other WIP Go goal for the month. Lily is making a noise. I think she's digging around in her bed. The reason I'm monitoring Lily on a baby monitor is because she's downstairs in our puppy room, because she's going to have puppies very soon. And one of the things that they do when they're close to giving birth is they nest. And for a dog that means digging. They dig and they burrow and they move all their blankets around and they make themselves a little nest. That is what she's doing. I'm just going to have a little check on her and make sure she's okay, and then I will show you WIP number 3. Lily is okay, Willow is okay as well. They're both in there together. I did just have to go and check on them. I ended up running downstairs to have an in-person check. I don't want puppies to start being delivered in the middle of me filming my floss tube and me not be there, so we just had to check that all was well. Because they could come tonight. Might be a late one, might not be, nobody knows, they keep us guessing. Right, WIP number 3. This is one that you've not seen since a little bit earlier this year. This is my Winter Woods by Satsuma Street. I am stitching this as a sal with lovely Rosie X stitches. Rosie and I started this on January the 15th, I believe, and we're doing 2 months for every square. So you can see the pattern has like 4 very distinct squares. We are doing 1 square every 2 months. So our first square we had to do between January 15th and March 15th. I think I got mine done in Jan, early Feb, so I've not picked this up for a while, but I did complete my first square in that time frame, and then I put it away. And then the 15th of March came and I thought I better get this out and work on it at some point. So yes, in the last couple of weeks I have made a bit of a start on square number 2. Not done the whole thing, but it is a nice little chunk. So I've done sort of the top part of the border, like they're all split slightly differently. So this one was split into 4 motifs, this one is split into 3 with like a panoramic at the top. So I've started stitching on that with the lovely mushroom, like toadstools, and like the branches and trees in the background on snowy ground. So that is my start on this. This is being stitched on a lovely hand-dyed piece of fabric. It is even weave. It is an even weave, and I've been very unorganised with notes today, so this is either a 28 or a 32 count. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to say 32 from the look of it. If I'm wrong, next time you see it, I will correct myself. I've been completely unorganised with notes today. I didn't make any or get my notebook out because this was very spur of the moment filming. It was not planned or intended for this evening. But I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased to have I've not quite hit the halfway mark on that square, but I feel like I've done a really good chunk. So that is lovely. Love this design. So beautiful, like simple. I don't think there's any backstitch really other than like the little stars up here, and in the other squares there might be again like some tiny little bits like stars, but all the animals and all the toadstools and all the things, none of it has backstitch. It's just all really cleverly charted and looks wonderful without the need for any backstitch. Not that I dislike backstitch. I do a lot of backstitch heavy designs, but it is sometimes nice to pick something up that doesn't have any, where you can just stitch your crosses. I am stitching that with Royal Broidery, I believe. Again, no notes, not organised today, but I'm fairly certain I kitted that entire design all in Royal Broidery threads. So that is what that is being stitched on. My last piece to show you today is one that you have already seen this month. So I did show you this in my last episode. I stitched on it at the front end of March as well, and I had a WIP goal to stitch on something seasonal. I think, was that my WIP goal? Yes, something seasonal for 5 hours, and I already completed that goal with this WIP, which is my Spring Awakens. So I did show it to you in my last episode. I already had my 5 hours for WIP go under my belt, but I felt like working on it some more. We are at the very beginning of spring. It felt appropriate, felt like a nice one to stitch on. Again, it's another simple design, no backstitch. Very few colour changes in this, so you will see that compared to where I was when I ticked it off my WIP go list in the middle of the month, I have done a little bit more. And here is my progress. As you can see, I have completed all the lettering and the wording now, and the box that is around it, so that was not quite complete last time you saw it. I've done the little floral motif in the box, and then I have started moving upwards. On top of the box, I've started doing some leaves, flower motif, and this will be the bird. You can sort of start to see the shape of the bird here. So that is my progress on Spring Awakens. Those are all of my WIPs to share with you today. Before we get on to unboxing my Black Needle Society box, which is my little bit of haul to share with you today, I know that not everyone sticks around for the haul, so if any of you are dropping off and leaving me, thank you for coming to share in my stitchy update. Hope that you enjoyed it. Not a huge amount of stitching done, but really a lot more than I was expecting to get done, so I'm just so happy. I'm so happy just to have been able to stitch and actually have something to share with you. I hope those of you that were celebrating had a wonderful Easter and that you've enjoyed yourselves. If you haven't been celebrating the religious side of things and you've just been indulging in all the chocolate, I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed that too. I have been trying to be really good with the impending wedding, so not too much chocolate for me, but I have had a few little sneaky bites here and there. We've done some really fun things with the kids, had a lovely time. We've done an Easter egg hunt that we did around the house at home. We have done a day out to a little farm place. The kids went to my mum's for a few days and they did loads of fun activities there. So yeah, we've had a really good March. I hope that you have too. Bye to those that do not want to be enabled, and those of you that are sticking around, let's have a look in my Black Needle Society box. So here is my very first box from the Black Needle Society. It is lovely. I'm really excited to share it with you. It has come on a long journey to the UK, all the way from the US. My box did get slightly battered in transit. It's got a little hole in it here, but I'm happy to report that everything inside arrived completely safe and well. So these are what the boxes look like. They've got the Black Needle Society branding on the front. It's quite a big box. And when I flip it open, I have got lots of lovely goodies inside. So I'm going to put it down because I can't hold the box up and show you all the individual bits, but you can see I've got loads of goodies inside here. And it does come with a useful little leaflet to tell you what's in your box. Also on the back of the leaflet, there's some lovely book recommendations, which is a nice touch. And inside is where it tells you all about what's in this box. So let's have a look. I have a box within a box. And inside my box within a box, ooh, this one is very sturdy. There we go. Inside my box within a box is this lovely cereal bowl with Hoop Loops branded on the front. Now this is, as the leaflet suggested, the Saturday morning stitching box, the cereal on the front. It very much gives away the theme. It is like breakfasty, Saturday morning stitching and watching telly sort of theme. So my first item is this lovely cereal bowl. And then there is this cute little donut spoon to go with it. Just give you a closer look at the little motif. It is really cute, a little donut spoon. I'm not sure that I will actually be using this to eat my cereal because it's a very beautiful, but it is also a very delicate and small spoon. And I like to shovel a lot more cereal in my mouth at one time than I could pick up with this, but it is a gorgeous little spoon to use for stirring my teas, Adam's coffees. Yeah, Adam would love that because he loves donuts. So yeah, beautiful little decorative spoon. Really, really sweet. I've got a little pouch inside the box for an exclusive needle minder. And the needle minder inside is Saturday morning stitching themed. So here is the needle minder. And as soon as I pulled this out of my box, I said to Adam, it looks like the Looney Tunes. That's exactly what it looks like. And then when you actually open the leaflet and have a little read, that's exactly what it says. It says that it was inspired by the Looney Tunes. So they definitely got that completely bang on because I immediately recognised and associated the artwork with that show the second that I opened it. So that is the lovely needle minder that came in the box. I haven't used it yet, but it does feel lovely and strong. Next, what should we open next? So I've got this lovely little bag, and inside it are a pair of super cute and cozy donut socks. So fun, perfect for keeping my feet warm when I'm stitching or plodding around the house. Really, really fun socks. I love fun socks. I have a whole stash and drawer full of lovely socks, and I will never say no to another pair. So they are lovely. I love stuff like that. Next is another cereal themed item to go with the sort of breakfasty theme. And I really like the play on words with this. So this is a cereal starter, little key fob, key ring, bag charm. Like I said, sorry about the shadows today. I am not filming in the ideal conditions. It is getting on to be nighttime. The light is fading. But how cute is that? I really like that. Cereal starter, so I love the play on words. And obviously there's a needle here with like some rainbow coloured threads. And although it's the word cereal, this is most definitely not referring to food and is referring to all of us that start too many new projects. So I love that. I love the wordplay. Very, very fun. Next item are 3 beautiful over-dyed threads. These are by Night Stalkers Calling. Looks like they have their own Etsy shop. And there are 3 colours in here, which are apparently inspired by cartoons. So in here we have, if I can find the list of thread names, we have Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons and the Smurfs as the inspiration. So the Scooby-Doo themed one is clearly this one because that's the one at the front and you can see it's named Shaggy. The next one in the middle here is blue, so I'm going to take a wild guess that that is the Smurfy colour. And the last one here is the lovely purple one inspired by the Jetsons. These look like absolutely gorgeous threads. I'm not sure yet what I will use them for, but I do think they are lovely. And Night Stalkers Calling is definitely new to me. I've not heard of them before. Like I said, they definitely have an Etsy store that you can check out. And I think that's a fun thing about getting a box like this, is you can discover new things or new stitchy shops that you've not heard of before. So that's lovely. My next item in the box I was really excited about because it's fabric. I am always excited for new fabric. This is a lovely piece of linen by Fibre on a Whim, and the colourway is Cafe au Lait. I was just checking the name. So this is a fat 1/8 of 32 count Belfast. It is just a lovely neutral. Really, really pretty colour. I like that a lot. You can't go wrong with a nice neutral fabric. I did get an email through that asked what our fabric preference was. So I did get to give like a first, second and third choice. Linen, even weave and then Ada, I think is the order that I selected. So linen, I'm pretty sure linen was my first choice, and that's what I received, so that's great. So that is my fabric. What have we got left? Got this cute little novelty needle case. So it is printed to look like a remote control, which kind of ties in with the television theme of the needle minder. And inside, when you slide it open, it has a little bar magnet just so that your needles can all stick in that tin without rolling around. So that is quite useful. The last item in my box is a pattern. So this is a Saturday morning inspired pattern. The name is Saturday Mornings. It is by Flossy Fox Shop. And I believe that this was designed exclusively for the box. I will just double check that. It is indeed. So yes, this was designed specifically for the box, which is lovely. I'm therefore assuming that, at least for the moment, you can't get this anywhere else except for maybe in the Black Needle Vault if they have any spares. And this is the lovely pattern. So again, Saturday morning, sort of stitching, chilling out and watching telly inspired. Lovely. And on the back there is a really nice key, very clear with all the DMC. It is a DMC pattern. I just think that is lovely. Like with the background fabric that they've got the model stitch like mock-up on there. That is like quite a neutral fabric that isn't dissimilar from the fabric that I received in the box. So they would go quite nicely together, that pattern and that fabric. I'm assuming they would fit because it's quite a good size piece of fabric and the design is not huge. So there we go, that is my first box from the Black Needle Society. Thank you very much for sending it to me, lovely people at Black Needle. It is a really lovely box. I'm excited to see what I get in my next box, and I'm looking forward to using some of the bits that I got. I may use my new cereal bowl tomorrow now that you've seen it. I didn't want to use anything until I've been able to share it, but now that you've seen everything, that's going to go in the kitchen, in the cupboard, and I can actually start eating from it. I'm sure that Daisy will want to pinch it because it's pink. I don't think I've got anything else to share today, guys. Life update wise, so I've already sort of touched on that. My eyes, fingers crossed, are doing okay. I am using my drops devoutly, and I'm like setting alarms to remind myself I'm off the antibiotics, I'm off the steroids. I've been off the steroids now for 2 days. This is my second day with no steroids. Fingers crossed, no signs of any impending relapse. Being careful with my stitching, not too much evening stitching. And let's hope that I can start introducing some evening stitching soon, but for the moment, I'm very happy with the little bits of stitching time that I've been grabbing, and I'm really pleased with how it's been going. Is there anything else I wanted to share? There is one more thing I wanted to share, and I really need my phone for this to make sure I get the name right, but I've not got my phone to hand, have I? Have I got my phone to hand? I do. So, I have not been watching a huge amount of Flosstube because, as well as sort of trying to limit my stitchy time for the sake of my eyes, screen time goes hand in hand with that, like anything that is going to potentially stress your eyes. I've been having limited screen time. I've not been watching as much Flosstube as usual. I have loads of my favourite Flosstubers that I regularly watch that I need to catch up on. But I have watched a little bit of Flosstube over the last few days, and I actually discovered a new Flosstuber. So that is exciting. I am just going to double check her like Instagram-y and channel name to make sure that I don't give you a wrong name. I'm pretty sure it's the Crow River channel, but yes, it is. I was just double checking. So the Crow River Stitcher, I discovered her on Flosstube and I've thoroughly enjoyed her first episode. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Some beautiful stitching, absolutely lovely, well worth a watch. And I love that she is like a serial finisher. She FFOs everything, which is my exact opposite. And although I'm not like, you know, very big on FFOing, I love to see other people do theirs to give me inspiration for the future when I finally get round to it. So yes, a really, really lovely first Flosstube episode. Definitely go and check it out, and also give her a follow on Instagram. And yeah, really enjoyed your first video. What else? Anyone else that I've watched recently that's new? No, that is my recent Flosstube discovery and really, really enjoyed it. I've also managed to catch up with watching a little bit of Charlie Feathers, although I'm not all the way through her most recent episode. I have caught up with Sarah. Sarah has released her second episode and she's already at 1,000 subs, which is amazing. Big congratulations to Cross Stitch Mad Sarah. I told her that everyone would love her Flosstubes and her infectious and bubbly personality, and I cannot believe it's taken her this long to film, but now she's on a roll and she's put out episode number 2 already. Who else? I caught up with Teresa Little Stitcher earlier today, so that was nice. I've caught up with Lynn, the Lancashire Stitcher's last 3 episodes recently. I've watched those back to back, and I've caught up with Emma X Stitching as well. So yeah, I've been watching all your Flosstubes, guys, and loving and enjoying them. And everyone else on my backlog, I'm hoping to catch up really soon. I'm just being careful not to overdo it with my screen time or anything else. Big thank you to all of you that commented on my last video, especially with the issues I was having with my eyes. You were all so lovely and so encouraging. Thank you for all the congratulations about the wedding and my exciting news. I haven't gone through and replied to as many comments as I usually would have done. I usually try to be really good with replying to everyone. I have read all the comments, but again, I've been trying to not sit there and be staring too long at my phone typing. So I am going to try and catch up and get round to replying to everyone at some point, but please know that I have read all the comments and do really appreciate them. I will see you all very soon, in about a month. Not quite as soon as usual, but I am not going to film a mid-month update for the upcoming month. So for April, I am just going to stitch as much as I can in that 4 weeks and hopefully give you a bit of a bumper episode at the end of the month. I haven't even looked up my April WIP Go goals. I've got no idea what they are. I might do that when I finish filming this so I can get organised for the upcoming month. And yes, see you all at the end of April, guys. Take care, happy stitching, and hope you all have a lovely month this month, as hopefully the weather gets nicer for us all. And I will see you soon, because there's dogs barking. I've got to go. Take care, bye.